Sometimes you just have to give a shout out to a player on the other team. A player that shows an outstanding level of skill, like one Red Fox here, and he's PE3 this. This is probably the best post-mortem long-distance rocket shot kill that I've seen in game so far. One Red Fox, well done. Hello boys and girls, R1 here again. I've gotten myself into a ground forces match. And do you notice anything strange? I'm on Karelia right now, and I'm approaching the battle zone. And I'm still alive in a bomber. I'm not even taking much anti-aircraft fire at this point. This has never happened before. Gaijin Games issued a patch a few days ago, and one of the notes in this minor patch covered the fact that on certain maps, primarily Karelia and Carpathian, the anti-aircraft had a bug, apparently since those maps were introduced. A bug that made them far, far too accurate. Now this has been largely overlooked by the community, but it is making a huge difference in War Thunder ground combat. You're actually able to get in and out of these maps without getting shredded on approach. Now that's not to say that you still don't have player threats to deal with. Those haven't diminished. If anything, they've increased as players slowly begin to take up the slack now that they can't rely on AI-powered anti-aircraft batteries to wipe everything out of the sky. Now, there were ways around it, don't get me wrong. You could go in as part of a squad and make a coordinated effort to take the AA out before they killed your ground-attacking teammates. But for those of us that usually play on our own, it's making a huge difference. Although, that doesn't mean you're going to succeed. I've even taken a Wellington into the Karelia map with mixed results, but I got there alive. That's a first. And I actually was able to have a little effect on the outcome of the battle. Not great. It's still a slow-moving, overly large, fragile target that everyone and everything on the battlefield is going to focus on and try and take out as quickly as possible. It has a massive bomb load. This Wellington, of course, is the premium version that the Germans have, a captured British bomber. But look, it's still alive and able to, well, minus one engine, able to at least inflict a little bit of damage before everyone under the sun teams up to take it out. But you know what? That's okay. I can live with that. At least I have a chance. If I had chosen to bring this bomber in later in the match, I might have actually been able to make a significant contribution to the outcome of the current conflict. As it stands, I brought it in right off the bat, and there was just too much going on. There were too many enemy fighters, and there was too much enemy AA active on the ground in player-driven anti-aircraft vehicles. But as I said, I can live with that. Getting shot down by a player anti-aircraft weapon is vastly preferable to getting shot down by AI-driven anti-aircraft. Now, in the spirit of this, I've been taking out anti-aircraft vehicles. This is the Tier 2 half-track version. Now, it does have the limitation that all current in-game anti-aircraft vehicles have. You notice how when the gun is pointed to the front, it forces it up in elevation. I can't fire straight ahead. In fact, if an aircraft is directly in front of me, it has to be almost above me before I can get my gun down far enough to open fire. But if you keep it angled like this, or if you approach combat with the tail of the vehicle toward combat, you'll do okay. It's a 37mm gun. It fires a little slower than what I'm used to, but once you get the hang of it, it does hit hard, and it will do the job. Now granted, this is still a low tier, so it will be interesting to see what the new Russian and German anti-aircraft vehicles are going to be like. Most of them look to be higher tier vehicles and quite powerful, and that will be a welcome addition to ground forces battles. Even this vehicle can be effective even against other ground vehicles, other tanks and such. If you can move into a position where you have cover, such as this ridge line up ahead of me at this base, then you can bring your gun to bear on ground units as well fairly effectively. Of course, the trick is to get there without being distracted or destroyed by enemy forces. Distractions for me are usually the main problem. It seems every time I turn around, a target presents itself, either on the ground or in the air. Now once you do manage to get into a good position and turn your anti-aircraft gun to the side, you can prove yourself to be a threat, even to a degree, against heavy tanks like that KV-1. You are able to do significant damage, both in terms of hit points that you do, but more appropriately in the module damage that you do to the vehicle. And you can certainly get his attention, which is valuable as well. You just have to know when to pull your nose back, and because he will kill you with one hit. But if you're cagey about it, and you angle your shots right, you can keep him occupied while other members of your team move in. Of course, heavy tanks won't be your primary target. You're far more effective against light tanks, such as that BT-7 over there. And you can do a significant amount of damage to medium tanks as well as tank destroyers, especially the more lightly armored varieties. Getting up close and personal with enemy tank destroyers and heavier tanks can be problematic. It can be difficult to bring your gun to bear without getting your face shot off, as is demonstrated here. You definitely have to have a fairly large degree of intestinal fortitude and a bit of patience, but it can pay off. I don't mind saying, though, I was sweating bullets at this point. I have found that I now rather like pairing up a good fast bomber like this SM-79 Sparviero that I'm in, just like Swakster there ahead of me, with anti-aircraft vehicles. At this point in this conquest battle on jungle, I'm going to swing up here close to Swakster. I'm thinking, since we're in similar vehicles, that perhaps we can cover each other. There is a Yak-7 in the air, So for mutual protection, I'm going to get as close as I can to him, to Swakster, and see if we can actually make it to target. But then I noticed that Yak 7 is far from alone. I'm going to break away and head in. There's no way that we can handle that many enemy aircraft. So I think that my best chance this time around is to just try and get in, do some damage, and get out. And hopefully the enemy aircraft will be thinned out by the time I come back from a reload. An enemy KV-1 on that rock outcropping catches my eye. So I'm going to swing in and go for him right off the bat. I've already drawn unpleasant attention at this point, however. Feeling the need to get out of here as quickly as possible, I'm going to focus on the enemy's attempt to capture point A. It's a hurried attempt, it's not well aimed, and I'm going to miss that bomb drop. But I'm going to peel off and immediately exit the area, assuming that I make it out of here alive. My rear gunners and side gunners do their job. They drive off the Russian fighter that attacked me, but my control surfaces are shredded at this point. I can barely control the aircraft. Fortunately, my engines are still functioning and I can keep my speed up, and I'm going to use that to pull as much distance as I possibly can. Swakster, I'm sorry buddy, I can't help you. I'm not in the right aircraft to do that. You're on your own. I'm starting to think I might actually be able to get away with this. Seriously, I should have known better. Yeah, Andre and his P-39K are coming on fast. There's no point in heading to the base. All I can do is try and turn and face him. Perhaps there'll be a miraculous turn of events and I can bring my guns to bear. And that was close. But it's just not going to happen. He's got more than enough firepower to take me out very quickly. Airacobras excel at a lot of things, and killing bombers is high on the list. Still, Andre, I have a bone to pick with you. And now I have an even bigger problem. My automatic reload setting appears to have borked in-game, and I don't have anything that I can load other than anti-aircraft ammunition. The ammunition I would normally use against ground targets is not going to be available. And this ammunition doesn't do anything against enemy tanks. Still, it almost doesn't matter. I almost get taken out immediately by the gunners on that AR-2 bomber. It's a great way to enter the match, already under heavy fire. Now I'm going to move away from my entry point as quickly as I can, but I realize that bomber is going to swing around and come back after me. The only chance I'm going to have, since he's directly over our spawn, is to take him out. Wow. That was just a little too close for comfort. And it's only about 20 seconds later, as I start lining up on some of these enemy fighters, that I realize this match is already swinging in our favor. I need to do as much damage as I can, as quickly as I can, if I'm going to get any kind of a score out of this. And I still have unfinished business. As I move toward a little bit better position, I look around. There's someone specific that I'm looking for. And there he is, Andre, in his Airacobra. And he's going vertical after one of my teammates. If I can catch him at the apex of his climb, I'm going to have a great shot at him. That would be so perfect. But he makes it over the top. This is going to be dicey. And I got him on the way down. Revenge is sweet. So, bombers and aircraft guns teamed up together in ground forces combat. They actually make a pretty satisfying team. And yeah, revenge is sweet. Andre did exactly what I would have done in his situation. He was a good pilot, and he did his job. But I still enjoyed the hell out of killing him. That's going to be it for today. Let's hope that these patch notes and this bug that they have finally discovered are signs that they are continuing to tune the role of computer-driven AI anti-aircraft guns in-game. It's much more satisfying when the players are the ones that are the major threat on the battlefield. You folks have a good night or a good day at work if you're playing hooky right now and watching these when you're not supposed to. Either way, until I see you again, good hunting.